But where you see these cars coming now, last hour that was not the case. Many of these protesters were actually in the street blocking, or at the very least confronting, vehicles that were either coming out or into that federal facility.
CNN has learned that about 1,000 additional Customs and Border Protection agents are set to deploy to Minneapolis. That is according to 2 federal law enforcement sources. An ICE agent there shot and killed Renee Good just last week. Let's get to CNN's Whitney Wild for the very latest on all this. In this additional deployment, Whitney, what are you learning?
Well, this is a massive increase, John, because this was already the largest immigration action to date, with 2,000 agents spread throughout the Twin Cities. Now we know that it's going to be a 50% increase, 3,000 agents spread throughout that area. This is according to 2 sources. According to CNN's Priscilla Alvarez, Customs and Border Protection Commander Gregory Bovino had already been on the ground. He is going to be part of this operation. He is a well-known figure. He led operations in Chicago, New Orleans, and Charlotte. One of the sources telling Priscilla that he is going to be conducting targeted operations, which include door knocks. And in those situations, the documents that are provided to those targets will include administrative warrants, which are signed by
somebody who wears a mask for a living. I have no idea how they keep it on. Like, this shit is I don't know if you noticed, but like every stream I keep doing this. It's not because I have some sort of ADHD issue or because like I'm scratching myself. I buy, thanks to you guys' support, very high quality masks, so it feels good on my face. But this shit moves because I'm opening my mouth, and these cunts usually open their mouth very often as well. So when you open your mouth all the time, it starts shifting, it starts moving, you know, it starts pulling down, pulling up, right? So I'm constantly moving it. For me to carry gear, be a racist fat piece of shit, and also accost regular civilians around me while keeping my mask on is low-key an impressive feat. I don't know how they do it.
Officer, but do not carry the same legal weight.
They sleep in them, yeah.
As a judicial warrant, or they will be.
I'm not from Minneapolis. The 1,000 new agents are seemingly just here to chase off and harass us observers. Also got blocked by MPD yesterday after following an ICE truck. Good practice, my friend. Keep doing it. But yes, the 1,000 extra is a flex to Minneapolis so that they can make news reports like this. DHS to surge 1,000 more agents in Minneapolis because they were told to get the fuck out. Now they are intentionally sending in more so they can appear strong. It is a propaganda thing, which doesn't undermine the fact that those 1,000 more ICE agents are going to be quite impactful on the street.
Copies of final orders of removal. John, as you mentioned, this all comes on the heels of an ICE officer shooting and killing Renee Nicole Good. Leaders in Minneapolis and leaders at the White House have 2 completely different ideas about what happened. The White House continuing to defend that officer, saying that he feared for his life.
There is a distinct lack of focus on Epstein in every news story for the last 2 weeks, my friend. That's the whole point. Overwhelm. The one thing they truly followed through on when it comes to their electoral promises was what did they call it? We already forgot, the Trump plan or whatever, which is the constantly overwhelmed with information, but not just fake information, but events. Stuff happening. And utilize that to combat scandals, which is ironically like completely insane because you're using scandals to combat scandals, which is what the fucking hell. Project 2025. Thank you, lesbian.
Life that she attempted or did run him over.
Flooding the zone, yeah.
Saying that this was an act of domestic terrorism. Kristi Noem doubled down on those comments in an interview with Jake Tapper on Sunday. Minneapolis leaders say that could not be further from the truth. She posed no risk to that officer.
And isn't it fucking hilarious? Because at this point I do understand, like I do know Americans. A fellow American citizen, a white family lady, okay, getting her brains blown out, is going to make them less angry than this guy holding up the reverse flag. And this is not necessarily just an American thing, to be honest. This has happened like most places. the way you virtue signal your belief system to the world, literally your profile, is more important to regular, everyday fellow citizens than a regular, everyday fellow citizen getting their brains burned out. That just isn't that crazy? I know I'm not exactly doing analysis here. I'm just doing an Asmongold thing when I'm pointing a thing out. I'm like, isn't that crazy? But isn't that crazy? Isn't that fucking absolutely batshit insane?
Leaders say that could not be further from the truth. She posed no risk to that officer, that this was a
Thank you, Laub Frau, my friend. Nice to see you. Thank you.
completely unjustified shooting, and they are...
It took 5 years and 4 blocks, and we went from kneeling on black men's necks to shooting white women in the face, 4 blocks away from where George Floyd was executed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Heard her. Nobody will speak up because everyone was gone. Nobody was left to speak up. More and more news technique is short-sighted because people get desensitized, of course. People are going to open up a van at some point thinking they're de-arresting people and be full of thumbs with their pants down. Oh, true. Oh, no, expect that. This channel in no way endorses what I am about to say, but like, obviously that's going to happen. No. And they're so ready for it. They were hoping that it would happen before they have to shoot a white lady. And it's going to happen after they shot a white lady, but they'll still use it to retroactively justify shooting a white lady. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Somebody who's fucking depressed and is planning on blowing their brains out tomorrow, but it's like, why not take down a couple of cunts with me? That's what I'm talking about. Which this show does not agree with in any way, shape, or form. Twitch. Fucking obviously. But it's going to happen. And then they're going to use it for more crackdowns, which is then going to increase that particular contradiction, which is going to make more people go haywire. Or maybe I get Americans wrong. And maybe your whole gun rights, liberty, and fuck being put into undisclosed black vans thing, maybe that was just a LARP. For now, you're showing me that it was a LARP. Sure, there's like 500,000 very brave people, including some people in chat, that are out there on the streets, but you're a pretty big country, and that number in comparison to the size of your country is pretty irrelevant.
Calling for more local involvement in a federal investigation, which at this point is being led exclusively by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minneapolis. New over the weekend, John, Democratic lawmakers attempted to enter an ICE facility. They were inside briefly before being escorted out. On Thursday of last week, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem had changed the policy about allowing unannounced visits by lawmakers, saying that they need at least a week's notice. And John, the reason for that, she said, was that it's too difficult to move around the staffing that is required for an unannounced visit. Basically saying when you have these lawmakers who just show up, that means that they have to take agents off of other important tasks and instead escort them inside these buildings.
Oh yeah, an agency that famously needs to send at least 6 to 7. Dude, I did not do that intentionally. At least 8, 9. At least 5, 6 agents to detain one fucking Somalian grandmother. Yeah. Ooh, if we take them away from their extremely important job.
So now saying no more unannounced visits.
One of the most overhired paramilitaries I've ever seen in my life. Only in America would they actually have enough guns for that shit. Only in the States.
Instead, they want at least a week's notice, John.
All right, so just some of the new developments there. Whitney, we know you're keeping your eye on it. Thank you very, very much. Kate?
Let's talk about these new developments with someone who knows everything about them. Joining us right now is the former acting director of ICE, John Sandberg. It's great to see you again, John. So first on...
It's great to see you. What the fuck?
The hundreds of more officers that are now being sent in to...
Is this guy our guy? Is this guy a whistleblower or some shit? I accept whistleblowers. I don't give a shit. Is he our guy, or is he just, oh, I left because Trump was arresting American citizen? Not those goddamn slur. Somebody with context, please give me context. You know I trust chat too much.
So to back up ICE agents while they continue operations, what do you think that will do to the situation?
Okay, I think it has a real risk of inflaming the situation. We really need to de-escalate things in Minneapolis right now. The state and locals have indicated they do not want this extensive presence, right, of immigration enforcement agents in the city. This doesn't mean, so I think what I'd like to see is we reduce the visibility of the deployment here. This doesn't mean we have to say we're abandoning immigration.
Dude, this bitch fucking brought on a more efficient fascist. What the fuck? What? Do you understand? He literally just said, oh yeah, we're very stupid for doing this so in the public. Like, I wouldn't do this in the public like this. Like, I would just de-escalate, say that we're moving out, and then do shit covert style. What the fuck? What? No, he's real. He's literally saying, oh, we need to de-escalate. Like, it's got to be chill so we can do it more, like, secretively. He's like, oh, the SS is most productive when they do not see us before we enter their houses. Yeah. Why is this president saying to everybody, I will send 7,000 SS storm soldaten to this city? He's a fucking idiot. You should send 7,000 Sturm Soldaten without saying anything. Warum sagen Sie das? What the fuck? So, fucking Democrats be like, these Republicans are inefficient in their kidnapping methods. We would kidnap better, bro.
Enforcement. I think some people have tried to characterize it as either you have these mass deployments where you have no immigration enforcement at all. We know that's not true. ICE has arrested millions of people since its inception without these images that we're seeing now. But by
Dude, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself. We have successfully arrested so many without these images. Why is this current management of ICE so stupid where they fuck up and they create a bad image of ICE? That is literally the only thing this fucking cunt is saying. The only thing he's saying. The only thing he is saying, dude. They brought on a guy that doesn't say, you know, what ICE is doing is kind of low-key fucked up. Like the entirety of this institution is just going to bring us further down as a country. But no, he's like, no, if I controlled ICE, I would be better at this. Yo, what is up, Raiders? Thank you, Sean the Black, for the raid. I hope you had a lovely stream. Welcome in. If anybody was considering oiling me up even more than they did today, please do so now so that our streamers feel nice and welcome. Thank you for the raid as always. My chatters, please go follow Sean, but I'm pretty sure you follow Sean already. If you don't, somehow you're fucking weird. Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know what I do, I'm a random Balkan guy with a fucking mask that talks about fascism and capitalism and how he would like to urinate all over both of their ugly heads. No pun intended. Today we reach a level 23 hype train. That's why we're a bit more casual. Usually, you know, it's more formal. Oh, we're talking philosophy. Oh, we're talking theory. Oh, we're talking da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But now we're having some Jägermeister, which I really shouldn't be having right now. I drank for like 3 days straight because we did a level 23 hype train, which is insane. Sean, are you in here? Let's measure hype trains, bro. How big is your hype train? Because I'm pretty proud of 23. If you know what. Level 23 hype train. Yes, Cuphead. You are my producer. Fucking go back in the thing and look at it, my friend. What the fuck? Really need to fuck up. But for real, follow Sean. Let's continue in our coverage that probably you guys were covering as well. Racist, bigoted pieces of fucking shit doing what racist, bigoted pieces of fucking shit do. You guys walked in right as we were watching this particular interview where this lady brings on a former ICE guy, and the ICE guy's whole beef with what happened is back in my day, ICE used to arrest motherfuckers without causing scandals. It's stupid to arrest motherfuckers while causing scandals because that will make ICE less efficient. CNN brought on a guy that is complaining about ICE efficiency, not about ICE existing as a concept. And then you tell me this is opposition media. Yeah, and I'm a fucking hell.
Doubling down and redeploying, we're sending the opposite message that we do not care what the state and locals think. It's going to trigger.
I'm just going to replay just so you hear the context of what I'm saying. I'm not, pulling this out of my ass.
Deployments where you have no immigration enforcement at all. We know that's not true. ICE has arrested millions of people since its inception.
ICE optics, yes. The man is talking about ICE optics. Sorry, I'm interrupting again. And listen.
No immigration enforcement at all. We know that's not true. ICE has arrested millions of people since its inception without these images that we're seeing now. But by doubling down and redeploying, we're sending the opposite message that we do not care what the state and locals think. It's going to trigger more, and it's also just going to inflame the passions of these protesters. And
why are you I'm going to sound libbed up as fuck right now, but why are you platforming this guy? Yeah, I agree. The SS should not be utilized like this by this new Führer. The last Führer utilized it more properly. The Sturmsoldaten should only be sent in during the night when the local German citizenry is not going to be disturbed. Yeah. Why are we sending them during daytime? Why are we announcing that we are sending in the Sturmsoldaten? This is simply disturbing our beautiful Aryan neighborhoods. We should... Like, this is what the guy is saying. I love the CNN. I fucking love CNN. It's incredible. Somehow in a country that is so fucking bigoted out of its ass in its current state, arguably forever has been, they managed to find a guy that outdoes it. We must be more efficient in our deportations, yeah.
Very quickly. What also concerns me is where we're getting these agents from. These are Border Patrol agents, primarily. That they're just not trained or experienced in doing...
CBS kicked it off the other day. They had a different former ICE agent. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, my God.
Operations in these urban environments. They're trained for the border itself. So the nature and the experience level of these officers themselves, that concerns me as well.
It's really an interesting, important point. What do you think of the
interesting, important point?
Talking about with Whitney Wild that the Homeland Security Secretary just put in place no more unannounced visits. They cannot accommodate unannounced visits by lawmakers to ICE facilities. They now need a week's notice, saying that they just can't accommodate it. Does that make sense to you?
Kate, listen, it's disruptive when a member of Congress drops in on a facility. I appreciate and understand that. But I think what this goes back to a larger point, which is the administration, especially at DHS and within ICE, has really eliminated a lot of that accountability and oversight of the agency. They've diminished the funding of the...
Yeah, this is very bad when you ignore the conditions of our concentration camps. We must run very ethical concentration camps. Yeah, they must receive one shower every week. They must receive 100 calories every day. This is disgusting. I mean, they are not following through on the basics of American human rights treatment of the subhumans. Oh Lord. There are two Hitlers in your brain. The typical morning of an American white person. Oh. Am I Hitler number one that is going to run out in the street and say slurs at people? Or am I Hitler number two that is going to do it in a very covert manner without anybody spotting me? Doom, 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 doom. Depending on which side of the bed I slept on. I will be one or the other. Doom, 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 doom. This is how I imagine the American experience being like as a non-American. Oh, Lord. Do I say my shit out loud or do I hide it for efficiency levels?
And basically effectively neutralize the internal detention ombudsman at ICE. They've eliminated or completely, cut back on the Civil Rights and Civil Liberties Office. And there's obviously been across the federal government restrictions on inspectors generals. When you're at an agency like this, all of those means of oversight really do help ensure that you're trying to do, try to do things the right way. And so while unannounced congressional
Trying to do things the right way. No, we've reached, yeah. Welcome to 2026, chat. We reached the ethical deportations, bro.
And that is something that Congress themselves put into appropriations bills demanding that right. While they are frustrating, while they can be inconvenient, the point is that they are unannounced, that congressmen can drop in at any time and see exactly what is going on inside a detention facility and make determinations about whether or not, ICE is doing its absolute best to provide for the care and custody of the detainees. So I appreciate and understand the department's position. That said, I do think these kind of things are just helpful in keeping everybody, held accountable.
Yeah, especially when you've got the local, the state investigative agencies saying they've been boxed out in the investigation into what happened with the fatal shooting of Renee Good.
Dude, this is an insane interview. I know I'm like sewing out here, like, that this deserves sewing out. Like the definition of normalcy in the States has shifted so far right that the CNN can have a former member of the SS come on and complain about how inefficient the current SS is. That's the point we've reached. That is the point we've reached. Yes, CNN is a shithole network. No, I know. I agree completely. But come on, have you been on the show? You have, Bridget. I know you. But CNN is a nice mirror into the enlightened centrist / liboid brain, right? And when you shine the light on the typical, quote unquote middle class, even though that doesn't exist, like a liberal white person in the States, you shine it on them. The way this video is, and what you see is a person not advocating for the abolition of ICE, but a better, more organized and more whitewashed and more covert version of ICE. That says a lot about society. Vuvuzela 9000. Shit, I can't use Vuvuzela anymore. Vuvuzela 100 Gorillion iPhone. We only have 100 Gorillion iPhone now. The line between CNN and Fox is thinner than ever, yes. I unfortunately live in a household where CNN is playing in the background 24/7. It's truly awful. Jesus, I hope you are a young person that cannot escape. Because if you're married into CNN blasting 24/7, I have an unfortunate thing to tell you, and that's that 50% of everything you've ever earned is about to go to another person. Because you divorcing that motherfucker or that fatherfucker, what? Yugo famously very straight people oriented.
FBI saying they didn't really kind of trust that this joint investigation could be conducted. There's a lot of distrust and a lot of question of what can be trusted. To that point, I wanted to ask you, the Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, was on CNN yesterday with Jake Tapper, and during the conversation, she said that the officer's life in that encounter was threatened and warranted a lethal response. But then said essentially it's apples to oranges when comparing alleged violence against an officer in Minnesota to the convicted violence against officers that happened during January 6th. Here's just a piece of the back and forth with Jake.
Every single one of these investigations comes in the full context of the situation on the ground. And that's one thing that President Trump has been so focused on, is making sure that when we're out...
Are you ready for misogynist hour with Yugo? We always have like a little misogynist comment here. The American Republican Party of this administration is single-handedly creating a direct parallel to me with lip fillers and being a reactionary. 3 years ago, no correlation. No correlation. Lip fillers for, I'm talking women, woman with lip fillers and being reactionary is now like the if I see you and you have lip fillers, my stereotype of you potentially being a political ignoramus increases by at least 30%. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right in this very reactionary statement of mine that is obviously intended to cause drama and discussion in chat? Wait, did I say that out loud? Shit! Fuck! Fuck! Men too. Okay, Ben as well. They call it the Mar-a-Lago face. Yeah. Fuck that. I don't use that shit. You're right. So I agree. This looks so gross. No, it is real. This is a demonescent screen. It looks like shit. No, I'm not discussing if it looks good or bad. Like, you do your thing. I didn't go that fucking misogynistic. I'm not saying if it looks good or bad. I'm saying the fact that every single fucking woman that represents the Republican cause, okay, and goes and talks, gives public speeches, has profound levels of lip filler. So what I'm saying is that is now changing the, let's say, relationship between that particular aesthetic and potentials of following a particular ideology, which is creating a stereotype about the particular look. Notice for you to get lip filler, but I don't show my mouth.
There, we don't pick and choose which situations are in which laws are enforced and which ones aren't.
I just showed you video of people attacking law enforcement officers. Undisputed proof, undisputed evidence. And I just said President Trump pardoned all of them. And you said that President Trump is enforcing all the laws equally. It's just not true. There's a different standard for law enforcement officials being attacked if they're being attacked by Trump supporters.
John, what do you see here? What do you think of her reaction?
You know, Kate, I think we're having a growing credibility gap at ICE and DHS, right? We're sitting here, it just begins even with who we're arresting. The administration repeatedly says we're arresting only the worst of the worst. The data suggests strongly differently. Here we have, before the facts are in, we've made rushed conclusions that this was a proper shooting.
This video is 10 times worse than a video that just hosts somebody like this and does not question them at all. Hosting, like Fox hosting this lady and letting her spew her violent, bigoted rhetoric is on the same level, if not better, than hosting somebody like this. Because somebody like this moves the goalpost so fucking much that it helps increase the credibility of right-wing fucking psychopathic paramilitary organizations in the United States and abroad far more than this lady ever could. You understand what I mean? Because this person is presented as the rational midpoint. And what is the rational midpoint? Our SS officers shouldn't actually wear swastikas on their fucking armbands. They should wear civilian clothing. That is this guy. That is this guy. And platforming them and presenting them as a positive alternative to the other thing is 10 times worse than just letting fascists say their fascist shit. Israelis are receiving SMS message at the moment warning the midnight sky will shine in English. Are we doing with World War III start watch tonight? Yeah. Pretty interesting hack that they're getting. True, get him in a suit and pretend there are bad apples or something. Yeah, you're getting the point.
Here we have, before the facts are in, we've made rushed conclusions that this was a proper shooting, everything was followed, despite every available protocol saying you wait for an investigation to be completed. So how do you then have any credibility in the outcome of that investigation whenever whatever results are done, when the secretary herself has repeatedly concluded that without a doubt this is was a valid, justifiable shooting? I guess my point, Kate, is that this is the kind of thing that impairs the ability of ICE to do its job, and this isn't just a partisan thing.
Sometimes the streamer should not even react. By the way, chat, should I dress more formal? Because this stream we made 700 subscriptions. Is it the clothes, chat? Is it the clothes? Is it the clothes? We made exactly $1,540, just so I can be transparent. $1,540 tonight from 700. So you guys don't think it's like times 4 or something. That's not how the real world works. But I'm always transparent. 1,540. Oh, 546. I don't want to lie. Pretty crassy. Pretty fucking crassy. Thank you, chat.
And that's part of what concerns me is we've really made ICE more of a political football. Immigration enforcement.
By a gown. Oh, yeah, I should fucking walk in with a gown, bro.
And is always political. But it's about which side are you on? And the problem is ICE is there to defend the entire United States of America. There's a way of doing this without making it so partisan that allows for more effective law enforcement protecting all of us.
Manual Mike raid. Mike never raids me, that motherfucker. Man, I'm going to start beef with Mike. I'm kidding. I fucking love Mike. Gonna start beef with a guy you love, but that motherfucker. I have been promised a Mike raid 5,000 years ago. But yes, we just watched premium, and I do mean premium, pro-ICE propaganda. Not very scientific / Marxist to associate one stream result with clothing. Needs more data. Yeah, I'll wear more formal clothing. See if there's a direct correlation. Which side you are on? What the fuck you talking? Yeah. It's absurd. But Yugo looks hot in drag. Yes, I do. The last birthday I was on, everybody was doing drag, improvisations of different Balkan singers. It was pretty cool. There was a lot of dudes in high heels. How do dudes pull off high heels? I don't know. God bless them. A lot of straight dudes in high heels. It was low-key hot. It was pretty nice. Thank you, Scissor Me Timbers. Scissor Me Timbers. Me when you got me gets 700 subs. It's pretty crassy. It's pretty crassy. Anyways, chat. This was sick. This was pretty great. This was pretty great. Number go up. We made 1,500 profit today. That is just insane. Now I'm gonna say thank you to everybody that subscribed. Thank you to everybody that oiled, especially Ryu and especially Jokula. Thank you to my mods. Thank you to my producer. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Maybe we gamble. Maybe, oh my God, I'm a gambling addict. Maybe we game tomorrow. Probably we game. We'll see. We'll see what happened. We'll see what happened. I can't see like any more like big news happening to tomorrow. So depending on the news, we might gamble. We might game. What the fuck? Why do I keep saying gamble? That's it. That's it. I'm addicted. No, tell me. Who raid me? Me who raid now? Who Who me raid now? Who raid me now? Made me raid who? Who raid me now? Me raid who? Me who raid? DJ Mule. Oh fuck yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan. I'm a lurker actually in his shit. I'm a lurker. He's very good looking and very smart, and very passionate. There we go. Raid the Turk. Last time I raided that Turkish motherfucker, he didn't even fucking say, "Oh, what's up, Yugo? Thank you for the raid." Okay. I will raid the Turk probably tomorrow. Go to DJ Mule. Enjoy yourself. Give them a follow. Genuinely, I really like that stream. Give them a follow. Let them grow. Thank you everybody for your time. Thank you for a crazy fucking 23. Fucking insane. And I will see you tomorrow, baby. God bless all of you. God bless the Oilers. God bless the taxpayers. God bless the followers. And God bless the mods. And God bless the United States of